They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience. They won't come out and address Bree's audience, or Katie's audience, or Justin Jackson, or you. They are not accountable to us. They're accountable to whoever the fuck, themselves. Let's not kid ourselves. As Chris Hedges taught us a long time ago, the people attracted to politics are the most mediocre of people. They're not your friends. They are elected servants, and start fucking treating them that way.
I hear Brownie is seconding you in the background.
They're not your fucking friends. They're the people standing in between us and fucking healthcare. They're putting their fucking personal position ahead of that. Don't fucking forget that.
Who are you talking about with that, Jimmy?
I'm talking about anybody who's a progressive in Congress who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote. All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall. Every fucking one of them is selling you out and canceling you for their own personal gain.
I do think that it's important to draw distinctions between people like AOC and Nancy Pelosi. I mean, I think they're totally different.
Why is it important? Why is that important?
Because Nancy Pelosi is fundamentally opposed to your goal, and AOC
But if she votes with Nancy Pelosi, what's the fucking difference, Ben?
So, I mean, what I would say is that I think the strategy that she may have for getting Medicare for all to become a reality may differ from the strategy some of us...
What is her strategy, Ben? Has she shared that with you privately? Because she hasn't shared her fucking strategy publicly. So if you have some information, could you share it with us? If you don't have any information, please stop telling people that they have a fucking strategy when you know damn well they don't.
Well, so, I mean, what I would say is right now, I'm not sure what their strategy is at this
They don't have one, Ben.
But...
Stop saying you're not sure. You have no fucking idea. They have no strategy, and you know it. Stop fucking saying you don't know. What is their strategy? If you know what their strategy is, tell me. If you don't say you don't know. Say they don't fucking have one, because they don't fucking have one.
Well, but
that is bullshit, claptrap, mealy mouth, fuckface shit. Stop doing that, Ben.
No, well,
hold on.
People are dying, Ben. Quit giving politicians the benefit of the fucking doubt.
But that's not what I'm doing. I mean, what I'm saying is I think we have fairly strong evidence that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a strong Medicare for all supporter, right?
And
she doesn't oppose the floor vote, right? So I think that's
she's
one
not
thing.
Using her power to get one. Is she using her power to get one, or is she making bullshit excuses and you're accepting them?
No, and again, I mean, I think it's really important to push politicians. And I believe this about Bernie Sanders. I believe this about Ocasio-Cortez. I believe it about Brana. I believe it about anybody in Congress who I think is not right all the time, but usually on our side on most of these issues. I think it's vital to push them.
How do we define? I think that Jimmy raises an interesting and good point, because I think like a lot of us, I have.
So I don't disagree that her responses on the thread were great, although I see them in a little bit of a different way, because I do think it's good that she was responding to Justin. Not everybody does that. I think it was good that she engaged. And then I also thought on the interview on Intercepted, her answer made a little bit more sense than what she had responded
Which
to
answer,
Justin.
Ben?
Kidding me?
Wait a minute, Jimmy.
But this
Jimmy,
I don't know what this is. So you're saying her answers weren't great on that Twitter thread? What is in it to you to give people who are politicians who are obviously bullshitting and gaslighting us? What is in it for you to give them every benefit of the doubt? Do you think that helps?
No. So and again,
then why do you do it?
So. I guess what I'm saying, Jimmy, is I think the idea that AOC is in the same category as Nancy Pelosi.
No, what you said was her answers weren't great, Ben. Instead of her answers were obvious bullshit and gaslighting and revealed they weren't actually strategizing. You do the exact opposite.
So
stop fucking doing that.
Let Ben respond and make his point. I think he's being
He made his point. His point is he gives them every benefit of the fucking doubt, and he's not ready to fight for fucking anything. Ever. Ever.
Yeah. Well, and so I guess I'm saying
weren't great. Are you fucking
like
shitting
Bree
me?
and I have been saying.
Come on.
No.
So Jimmy,
I really think is that there are. Then I'll let you speak.
Weren't great.
Her
answers weren't great.
There are
they were obvious bullshit.
There are different lanes, as I've said before, and I do think that that's important to remember. And if you want, like, honestly, if you want to make your case, it's actually, I think, more effective to engage.
Well, I know what you guys think is more effective, and I see how far you guys moved the ball with your fucking claptrap. Zero. Giving fucking politicians the benefit of the doubt at every fucking turn and using mealy mouth terms.
But Jimmy, nobody's
issue. Fuck
Jimmy,
Jimmy,
nobody.
Yeah. Then I want to ask you, Jimmy, because I think that this is an important point to explore. Ben, when you said that you thought
so if, let's say, if they don't do what we want, and then Pelosi is. No, I'm just asking. And then Pelosi's reelected. This isn't like a gotcha rhetorical question. Pelosi's reelected. Then what's next? Do you guys all think we should primary them?
I think I'm going to move to Mark Pocan's district because it's close to Chicago.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to run against him in the primary.
I love Chicago.
And my platform is going to be, I'm for whatever he's for, except I'm actually going to fight for it. So when they interview me, they'll go, "So what do you think about Mark's position on this?" I go, "Well, he's for, I'm for."
Yeah, you're going to run on the Mark Pocan platform, but you're going to stick to it.
But I'm actually going to fight for it, and that'll be my platform, and that will be every interview I do will be the most fucking amazing interview because I'm not actually running against the guy. I'm running for him.
Yeah, tough love.
I'll be like Bernie did with Joe Biden, except at the end, Bernie wins.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that in New York, you don't have to live in the district. You don't even have to live in the state to run for Congress.
Oh, so you're saying you should primary AOC? Steph, you got a primary AOC. You.
I think that's an invitation for somebody to primary AOC. That'll get the squad in line if one of them gets primary.
You know, people
New York
don't
City's
realize.
only 2.5 hours away.
People don't realize that I was a real snooze until I married a Latina. Go look at my first Comedy Central special. I'm all shits and giggles. And all of a sudden I marry her, I turn to a fucking maniac. This is the Latina in me coming out.
That's the time.
do we think I don't want to, maybe I just don't want to stir any crap.
Too late.
Steph and Jimmy, what it came
I thought that's what this night was about.
I think that AOC would have showed up, right? I think that we would be seeing a very different response.
Media.
Do you mean MSNBC?
No. I just mean even the left media. If DSA had come out,
Even with that, what is the left media?
We got.
I mean, if DSA had come out and endorsed, if PNPH, if Majority Report had come out and endorsed.
Sam was the first to come out for it.
I
and
know.
It picked up steam. So did Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur came out for it. He was for it. Everybody was for it. And then as soon as it picked up steam, an email went out to everybody who has an MSNBC contract who gets money from Clinton donors. And all of a sudden they started sounding like AOC did on the Intercept podcast where Jeremy Scahill didn't know what a fucking follow-up question was.
Well,
he couldn't do his job half as good as a fucking YouTube host. And why is that?
Well, I learned about this from Sam Cedar. Like, I was watching a Sam Cedar clip. Right. I saw that he agreed with you, and I was like, oh, this must be a good idea if Sam Cedar is agreeing with Jimmy Dore. Let me look into it.
And he said, I couldn't find a reason why not to do this. Well, turns out as soon as the popular opinion went behind it and he got a phone call from his boss at MSNBC, he found a stupid reason to go by. Go look at the videos his own audience sees through it. Just like Cenk Uygur's own audience, they voted 86% for the hashtag force the vote. Even when Cenk Uygur disingenuously words the question saying that we would hand the speakership over to the Republicanship, which is complete bullshit, which he's never corrected. So why is it that people who are considered progressive leaders mischaracterize this, which is another form of lying, and then when pointed out that that's incorrect, they never correct it? Well, why the fuck is that? They just happen to take $20 million from Clinton donors, $4 million from Republicans, and $2 million from their own audience, which they then throw away, and we're supposed to pretend that they're not fucking on the tape? Yes, they fucking are, and those are the people who are kneecapping this moment. And that's why this is a clarifying moment, and everybody knows it is. We can pretend it's not, but everybody in the world knows because my fucking inbox and my email is filled with people saying, holy shit, Jimmy, I know you didn't intend to do this, but this is showing exactly who everyone is and isn't on the left, and motherfucker isn't.
But this is the thing, though, right? So we didn't have that kind of unified Fox response that was able to be the accountability mechanism. Fox because they were Tea Party and then the Tea Party had the leverage to extract concessions from the mainstream Republican Party, and then eventually they got Donald Trump. We don't have certainly don't have the MSNBCs of the world, but we don't even have, apparently, the Intercepts of the world, the DSAs of the world.
They got rid of a guy because he was against censorship. You think the Intercept is going to be on our fucking side? Are you shitting me? Are you kidding me? You don't fucking see what the Intercept is. They Russiagated for 4 fucking years. You gotta be kidding. You don't know what the fuck that is.
I think Bree said that that they're not on our side.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's the point. So like, the devil's advocate here is like, if someone were to primary AOC, I don't think that and we have to start being then realistic about what strategies we are able to deploy with the limited power we have. And this is where we get back to, I think, there's a sliver, there's some credibility to Ben's point here, which is, if we decide that with our sliver of a sliver, very little is possible, then I think there's more of an incentive to say, well, I guess we got to play some kind of nice with somebody to get the DSA people at least on our side. Or we got to ratchet it up times 10 to be so extreme that even the DSA people are so deeply ashamed. Like, I don't know what's going on with DSA, and I don't want to cast any aspersions on a group that I know has done a great deal of organizing work, and though I'm a member, cannot pretend that I've been going to meetings or I'm involved. If I were more involved, I would feel more comfortable criticizing. I don't think it's right for me to criticize given my limited involvement. However, it has been frustrating to me, and it has not exactly made me feel more incentive to be more involved, to see in this moment me kind of foot dragging about this particular issue. Especially as I am talking to folks who are more active DSA participants, where they're saying, and it's hard to measure, right? Like, maybe nobody wants this, and maybe I'm wrong. But my impression, and it's biased, obviously, but my impression is that there are a lot of people who want it, and they've been pushing for votes on this issue because the DSA is a democratic institution, unlike PNHP and some of these others where they don't have membership votes on things. And the timing of the vote, it's like someone DM'd me today saying, okay, we're voting on it today, I'll get back to you later. I still haven't gotten back from her because I think maybe the vote didn't happen. It got delayed more. And so now we're getting to a point, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but Annie Shields, who was involved with DSA, was online yesterday, kind of subtweeting, talking about, we only got 4 days to figure out who the next speaker is going to be. And I don't want you to impute ill intent to her tweet, but it felt almost gleeful, like, you guys are running out of time to figure this out. And it's like, shouldn't we be on the same side trying to figure out, don't you not want Nancy Pelosi to be the speaker? If you have a question about who should be the next speaker of the House, how about you propose it? And we can fight them to be able to secure that eventuality. Why are you acting like oppositional?
How much more power would it give us if we made her go through multiple rounds of balloting? How much more power would that give the movement? Like, on top of all the concessions that we could extract, because they absolutely need us, and they're pulling people, Biden's pulling people out of the House, so the numbers even lower, that would be such an exercise of power, and showing this country that we're willing to fight, and stand up for the things that we believe in, which is something that having the courage of our convictions is what I think people don't see the progressive movement doing.
And on a more insipid level, seeing her face, her facial expression, when they stood up and said, we're not voting for you unless, that'd be kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it would be.
Yes. I would love for the squad to tweet, Joe Biden doesn't support Medicare for all. Next time he sees healthcare as a human right, or John Ossoff sees healthcare as a human right, I would love to see, even if they didn't force the vote, I would like to see this kernel of oppositional instinct that allows them to quote tweet that and say, okay, cool slogan, but do you support Medicare for all, single payer healthcare in the United States of America? Because voters don't know. Voters think that these guys are good guys and gals and support all of these policies, and at very least their job is to be drawing these contracts, and they're not willing to do it on Twitter. They're not willing to do it in Congress, and so it comes down to who are they covering for, and why? What are they getting from that complacency?
The question of what we're going to do, I don't think it's that complicated. I think we have to acknowledge that the Democratic Party cannot be reformed. And we just have to stop playing around with that. And we have to stop pretending that it can. And we have to actually acknowledge the historical trends and how fast it transforms people. Institutionally, again, embrace sociology, apply it to politics like we do every other realm. And we need to build a new party. That's what it took to get abolition. That's what it took to get women's suffrage. That's what it took to get the 40-hour work week, to get child labor laws, to get the New Deal. And we have to do it now. Thomas Frank, so he came on to our national call, the People's Party national call, and he talked about how at times like this, when the two parties have become so entrenched and they've become such a conglomerate that independent parties have been necessary to come about and to break that up and to either replace one of the major parties or to force them to accept the actual policies that are necessary, because this is kind of like the discussion about primary members of the squad. Until they know that we have somewhere else to go, until they know that we have something else that we're building, that we can join, that we can offer people, that is like a positive escape hatch from this burning building that the Democrats who enforce the status quo have trapped us in, then nothing, they ultimately don't fear us. They don't care. They don't, as long as they know that we have nowhere else to go, we have no leverage in their opinion. So I don't think it's that complicated. I think we need to build a new party. It's been done in our own history. That's what it's taken to break up this kind of entrenchment and combining of the two parties in right-wing policies, and that's what it's going to take again. And we have advantages that, you know what, that when they built the early abolitionist Republican Party, or when they built the People's Party of the 1890s, or the Populist Party, the Bull Moose Party, the Populist Party with Henry Wallace, I mean, they would have killed for some of the advantages that we have today. Today we have the internet. The internet is fueling the rise of new parties in Mexico, across Europe. It's breaking up these entrenched duopolies. They have more multi-party systems, but they still have typically a center-left, a center-right party that has dominated those countries in Western Europe. Like since the end of the Second World War, those parties are collapsing. The Socialist Party basically doesn't exist in France anymore. It's been powered by this reaction against austerity and by the internet. We have these two. It's never been easier. It's never been more necessary. And there's never been a greater mandate and more people who wanted it in the U.S. 60%. In the United States, who want a new party, 60%, and they have no experience in their daily life of what an independent party is. That's astonishing. 72% of millennials, 68% of African Americans. So and working people higher. And so I really don't think it's a big mystery what we need to do. When they don't force the vote or they extract some kind of concession, they get some kind of concession that Pelosi doesn't mind as much to give them. It's clear. We need to build a new party. Frankly, it's been clear since 2016. It's been clear since before then. It's been clear since 2020. 2 stolen primaries. And they didn't give 2. Bernie built a movement, 5 years of movement building. 2 presidential campaigns, our revolution, everything in between it. Runner-up twice in both presidential races, back to back. And for that, he got not a single cabinet appointment. Zero. We're locked out of this party. And until we acknowledge it, we're not going to get anywhere.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
That was a shit show.
Oh, now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now. Now you fucked up. 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 Now you have fucked up.